Yeah, this is Uzbekistan and it's beautiful. Come with me.
Uzbekistan is a country we rarely hear about, and yet it once played a major role in the history of trade between Asia and Europe. This is literally the beating heart of the ancient Silk Road. Not just a country people pass through, but the place where everything met: ideas, religion, merchants, empires. The Silk Road wasn't a simple path, but an immense network of caravan routes, and almost all of them converged towards Samarkand, Bukhara and Khiva, what is now Uzbekistan. In this video, we're exploring those legendary cities, each of them leaving its mark on its iconic route. After a short stay in Tashkent, the capital, a modern city mixed Uzbek and Persian culture with a strong Soviet heritage, I crossed the country by train to reach Bukhara, a city known as a center of knowledge. You're probably wondering why I start in the middle, where everyone usually begins with Samarkand or Khiva. Well, I didn't plan my travel to Uzbekistan, so I basically arrived with no idea of what I was going to do, and just jumped on an opportunity. So it's not a very linear journey, but I'm expected somewhere. For a deeper, more immersive experience, far off the beaten path, discovering a part of the country very few people ever visit. But first, let's set the scene.
The taxi just led us in the city center of Bukhara. We are trying to reach ourself. It's like super cute actually here. Very typical Uzbek architecture. I really can't wait to show you that. But before that, I'm gonna let my backpack at the hostel and put sunscreen because the sun is actually really strong. We are in the summer right now, but I'm sure it's gonna be really great.
For my first stay in the city, I booked a guest house a bit special. Back in time, it used to be a caravanserai. Caravanserai were basically roadside hotels on the Silk Road. Place where merchants could rest, protect their goods, feed their animals, and continue their journey safely. Without them, crossing Asia would have been almost impossible.
So for this first step in Uzbekistan, I take you with me in Bukhara because it's one of the oldest cities in Central Asia. It's part of the Silk Road, so there is a lot of things to see here. Pretty much the architecture and the mosque here. The mosque are beautiful, and just walking and wandering through the town, it's just feeling like in ancient tales. This beautiful place just behind me, it's actually a madrasa. It's an Islamic school. I mean, an ancient Islamic school because now it's more a restaurant. But you can still find a lot of those madrasa everywhere here in Bukhara. Here we are inside one of those madrasa. It was actually here that the students were living. There is a room and place for study, and it's very quiet. There is no one. Yeah, I think I love it. This one here is very quiet, but in most of them you can find, restaurant, coffee, but also craft store with a lot of different objects. This is the second I see, so we're gonna check for the other one. I think in one of those there is a bazaar as well, so we might have a look.
For centuries, Bukhara was known as a center of knowledge. Its madrasas weren't only religious schools. They also taught math, astronomy, poetry, and science. Some of the greatest scholars of Central Asia study or taught here, and their work spread far beyond the region. But if you really want to feel the soul of the city, you will find it in the old markets. Bukhara has always been famous for its craftsmanship: silk, embroidery, carved wood, ceramics, knives, and carpets. Most of those techniques are centuries old, passed from one generation to the next. Every object you will see in the souk carries a bit of this history.
That's so nice. You can find a lot of handcraft objects and also those beautiful painting here that the guy is just making here. They are really beautiful. I think I'm gonna buy a souvenir here for my parents they always ask me to buy magnet for them. So here you have a lot of those bazaar here in old building. It's really beautiful. I love all the clothes, all the handcraft they do here are so beautiful. I want to buy everything, to be honest. I'm also a bit sad that I just have a small backpack, so I cannot, but there is so many beautiful things here, and the city looks like in a movie. So I just booked this hat here at the bazaar. It's called a dopi. It's a really traditional hat here from Uzbekistan. It's beautiful. I really wanted one. I took one, a green one. I think it suits me very well. I love it. Whoa, what's going on here? Look at this. Very great view. We're gonna have some local juice here. So we ordered this. It's called a compote. It's a mix with fruits. They made this juice. It's actually really nice and very fresh. That's actually the cheapest thing too. Local from here. So good. It looks like a sangria but without the wine.
Well, I completely fell in love with the craftsmanship of the dopi here. So the next morning, I couldn't resist buying another one. The patterns are different depending on the region, and many of them have a meaning or a story behind them. I spent some time in the handicraft shops, trying quite a lot of them, until I finally chose one. Or as I prefer to say, the dopi chose me.
We wake up a little bit early this morning. It's 8 a.m. even though most of the city are still sleeping, but here the place is open. So here is the Kalam complex, which is the spiritual heart of the city, and you have three types of building. You have the mosque here with this beautiful door with Islamic art on it. It's really amazing. You have this type of door everywhere here in Uzbekistan, and you also have this huge minaret. They used to call it the Tower of the Dead because back in the time they used to throw prisoners from the top. And here you have a madrasa, which is an Islamic school with this beautiful Islamic heart on the front. It's really amazing.
Well, now I'm ready for the next part of this adventure. Before leaving, I enjoy one last day in the city, walking among the madrasas and the mosque, as if I was the main character of a very old tale. The brick minarets, the turquoise domes, the huge decorated gateways. Bukhara is a place full of details for those who pay attention. And every till, every door seems to have its own story. It's the kind of place where you slow down, look around and realize how many lives have passed here before you. Being here feels a bit like walking inside a book. A place that looks almost unreal, yet has shaped the history of this entire region.
So today it's time to leave Bukhara. We are going to the desert. We took a guide for the occasions. At first we wanted to organize by ourselves, but we just figured out that it was almost the same price. So we took a guide which will be much easier, and also because it can show us some hidden villages and gonna be really, really nice. And for the occasions, I put my green dopi I booked yesterday. It's look really nice. What do you think? Alright, the guide is here. Let's go. Seven.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
And you, what's your name?
Jamshid.
Jamshi. Nice to meet you, Jamshi. Yeah.
English, Francis, no.
Okay.
Francis, bonjour les enfants.
Bonjour les enfants.
Oui.
So we are on the way now to the desert. Gonna be really nice. We are stopping to a village. It's called Nurata. We will have lunch with our guide and his family, I guess, and we're gonna sleep in the desert tonight.
For these expeditions, we set out across the Kizilkum Desert, literally the Red Sand. This desert is vast, nearly 298,000 square kilometers, stretching across Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. In the past, those dunes and semi-desert plains were a real challenge for the Silk Road caravans. Crossing this desert meant facing harsh aridity, but also taking advantage of strategic oases along the way. This was far from being an empty wasteland, as we discover at our first stop in the village of Nurota.
It's a little village oasis in the middle of the desert, and now we are going to have lunch in the family of our guide. It's gonna be really nice. Assalamualaikum. In a lot of Uzbek style house, I found out they all have this little courtyard in the middle of the house with usually a tree or more plants. And this is something I really love. If I have a house one day, I would love to have this kind of courtyard here. They have this plate, it's beautiful, and this glass. It's feeling like a king drinking inside of it. And there's also the plate. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Here they made us mountain with pumpkins actually. It's a specialty here from Uzbekistan and it's really, really delicious. We are walking a little bit around the town of Nurata. It's actually really beautiful, really calm. There is not so many people. Just behind me, there is a very old mosque. Apparently, our guide told us that many people come to do a pilgrimage here because there is sacred water. And also just behind me, somewhere here, there is the fort of Alexander the Great. Whew, I am here at the top of the fort. It's really, really small, but still interesting to see the place, and especially for the view. You can really see all the town here. It's actually pretty small, and we are surrounded by, huge steppe, big mountains, especially over there. It was probably bigger before, but because of the erosion, there is not many things to see left. And it's not in a really good conservation as well, so it's slowly dying.
According to legend, Nurta was founded by Alexander the Great, and the village still preserves the remains of this ancient fortress. But its true treasure lies beneath the ground. An underground aqueduct system called a Kares brings water from a sacred spring to the local population, supplying the village for centuries. The sacred Chasma spring is a pilgrimage site. Clear water flows surrounded by a column mosque. Locals believe in the spring's spiritual power, and it remains a place of deep respect. Blessed by this sacred spring and charged with the energy of a pioneer of explorations like Alexander the Great, we continue our journey toward Aidekul Lake, a turquoise jewel in the earth of the desert. It is not entirely natural. Created in the 1960s by the overflow of a Soviet-era dam, it filled large depressions in the Kizilkum, forming a vast lake that now attracts migratory birds, fish, and nomads seeking a bit of cool water in one of the Central Asia's largest deserts.
It's like 250 kilometers long, and it's so beautiful around the steppe and desert. And I think we're gonna swim here because it was really hot today, and now it's a little bit cooler because the sun going down. But I really want to swim here. That's good. That's very good after the heat. So nice. I'm gonna go again. Okay, bye. When we were on the water, we spot some wild horses on the bank of the lake. This is the kind of animals you can spot, especially here, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, where we go next after. So it's gonna be really, really beautiful.
As daylight fades over the Kizilkum, we make our ways to tonight's camp, a place far more special than a simple stop in the desert.
We just arrived at the yurt camp. This is so beautiful. Look at this, not so many people. Actually, I think there is just another couple, so it's not crowded at all. And you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yurt, and the main yurt here where we're gonna probably have dinner. It's so quiet. I love it. I'm just gonna probably discover my yurt now. This one is the yurt where we will spend the night. All right. Wow. Very simple. We have 2 beds here for me and my friend. That's so nice. First time I enter a yurt. It's really, really cool. It's actually bigger inside than it looked like from the outside. It is so fun. And yeah, just a little bit open here. I hope so it's not gonna rain. Obviously not, the weather is like mostly crazy hot. So it will be nice. A really good night in the desert. So this is the first time in a yurt for me, and honestly I love it. Maybe gonna become a new lifestyle. I just love how it's so spacious inside, and actually those ones are really small. There are yurts that are way bigger, like this one. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look before the sun's going down. So here we are treated like a king in the middle of the desert with a little bit of tea for start the dinner, and they are cooking just over there, and I think we're gonna eat really good tonight, and mostly after the night gonna fall, so we're gonna go to sleep.
A night in the desert is a moment of deep, almost unreal silence. A peaceful calm you rarely find anywhere else. And when the darkness falls, the sky opens up, revealing the Milky Way in all its clarity. Sleeping in a yurt is an art that dates back around 3,000 years, inherited from the Turco-Mongol peoples who inhabited this region for centuries. Those nomadic people, herders and travelers, crossed the steppes and desert with their flocks. The yurt, with its mobile structure, wooden frame and felt insulation, was perfect for this lifestyle, allowing them to live close to nature. Spending a night in one, for me, was a way to touch this nomadic heritage and experience one of the most restful nights I've had in a long time.
Hello. Hello. So here we stop in the middle of the desert. We are in a Kazakh village actually. So no yurt here. You have all this house, very old, but it gives a really kind of desert vibe. Actually the Kazakh people before the Soviet Union, they were living in yurt, but after that they start building house. And since the independence, they still living in those houses. There is not many people in this village. Approximately 200 family live here. It's such a tough life, I must say. They mostly live from farming. They have animals like cow here. I saw chicken over there. And it's a totally different culture. You can really see the mix of culture in Uzbekistan. You have the Tajik culture, Uzbek culture, Kyrgyz culture, and here Kazakh. So all of those mix you can find here in Uzbekistan.
Nomadic populations gradually adopt a sedentary lifestyle, encouraged and sometimes forced to live in permanent village. That morning, we set out to explore one of those small Kazakh villages. Here, stone houses have replaced the yurt, more durable, better suited to harsh winters, and allowing people to live in one place all year round. Despite the arid conditions of the desert, the community thrived here, rooted in a place where they once only passed through. As our road trip across the desert is coming to an end, and before reaching the legendary city of Samarkand, We stop in a small Uzbek village, tucked into the mountain. A little green haven where we are warmly welcomed by the traditional generosity of the Uzbek people.
Bukhara'dan mehmanlar da.
So here we stop in this village and they offer us some snack. We have first this dry berry, which is really good. It's my favorite things here, actually. They cultivate it from this tree over here and they make it dry. And this is the cheese they make because they have cow here. So they use the milk directly from the cow and they make this cheese, which is really good. It's actually a very strong and intense flavor of cheese, very dry as well. Oh, that's fresh apricot. So here they make this bread everywhere in Uzbekistan. They call it naan, and it's the traditional bread here. It's a little bit dry and hard, but it's good. They eat an entire one at every meal, but for me it's a little bit too much, so I'm just doing a little bit. Alright, I just arrived here in this beautiful guest house in Samarkand, and it's gonna be the last part of this video and probably the most beautiful city of Uzbekistan. It's actually one of the oldest in the world from 2700 years ago and also one of the main cities of the Silk Road. So I'm gonna show you Samarkand.
Samarkand is one of the most legendary names when it's come to the Silk Road. This city, at the crossroad of Central Asia, was for centuries a hub of trade and culture. Caravans from China, India, Persia and Europe would stop here, exchanging goods, ideas and traditions. Its mosque and madrasa are covered in turquoise and cobalt blue mosaics, with majestic domes, and monumental gates decorated with geometric and floral patterns. Every building tells story of past empires. Here we reach one of the city's most iconic places, the Registan. It was once the square where caravans gather. 3 monumental madrasas surround the square, and in the Tilakari madrasa, the interior walls are covered in gold, a true treasure of light and knowledge. Walking here is like touching centuries of history, feeling the grandeur of the Silk Road, and sensing the energy that makes Samarkand a timeless city. A place where every stone, every mosaic tells the story of passing caravans, merchants, travelers, and those who dream beyond the horizon.
This is here in front of the Registan, one of the most important and beautiful complex of Uzbekistan, that this video is coming to an end. It was a real pleasure to show you something that is really close to my heart, the desert, and especially here, the desert in Uzbekistan, which is the biggest in Central Asia. It's something I really love, not mainly because of the landscape, but because of the vibe. This silence, this stillness is something that makes me really rest and make me feel in peace, actually. I witnessed that most of the people coming to this country only visit the main city like Bukhara, Samarkand here, or Tashkent, or even Khiva, another jewel of Uzbekistan. But not many of them go to visit the desert. Because you might think, why should I visit the desert? There is nothing there. No, that's when you are wrong. The desert is beautiful and the desert teach you something. This silence, this stillness, is something that's make you feel in peace, and this is the things I'm looking for. And I realized that more I'm getting old, more I love the silence of the natures. However, this country is also very worth it, mainly because of its architecture. No, really. Did you know that Uzbekistan look like this? Everything is just wonderful. And just for this, I love Uzbekistan. I didn't have so many expectations about this country, but really it conquered my heart. And also the people here are super nice. I had a really great welcome from Uzbek people and something I will never forget. So as always, please, if you like this video, let me a like, write me a beautiful comment. I always take the time to reply to you if you have some questions. And for me, I will catch you in the next adventure. Still the silence of the nature, but more in the mountain. And it's gonna be a little bit cooler as well, because here can be really hot. Alright, stay safe and don't forget to travel.